Morning, guys. We're Matthew 24, reading from verse 23 to 28. Then if anyone says to you, "Behold, here is the Christ," or "There he is," do not believe him. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and will show great signs and wonders, so as to mislead, if possible, even the elect. So if it's possible, even those that are chosen by God will be deceived, but it's not possible. But this shows you how this deception is going to get greater and greater, and as we said in this chapter, repeated 4 times, the deception will be very, very great in the end. So we need to know the Bible, we need to be ready, and we need to examine the times, know the signs. Verse 25, "Behold, I have told you in advance. So if they say to you, 'Behold, he is in the wilderness,' do not go out. Or 'Behold, he is in the inner rooms,' do not believe them. There will be many coming and saying, 'Come to this mountain, this is where Jesus is in the wilderness,' or 'Come to this temple or this church, this is where Jesus is.'" We mustn't believe them. Jesus is not going to come in some secret way to some room or some desert somewhere. Every person is going to see when he comes. Deuteronomy 13 verse 1 talks about these signs and wonders, these false ones. Even in Revelation and Thessalonians, let's read a couple. "If a prophet or dreamer of dreams arises among you and gives you a sign or a wonder, and the signs and wonders that he tells you come to pass, and if he says, 'Let us go after other gods which you have not known, and let us serve them,' you shall not listen to the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams." 2 Thessalonians 2:9, "The coming of the lawless one is by the activity of Satan, and will all power and false signs and wonders." Again, just many powerful signs and wonders. "And with all the wicked deception for those who are perishing, because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. Therefore God sends them a strong delusion," there's the deception, "so that they may believe what is false, in order that all may be condemned, and did not believe the truth, but have pleasure in the unrighteousness." And so it's a great time of sifting, time of deception, a time that there'll be a judgment as well. Revelation 13:13, "It performs great signs and wonders." It's a beast, even making fire come down from heaven to earth. Those are the kind of things, the signs and wonders that may happen in front of the people. "And by the signs that it is allowed to work in the presence of the beast, it deceives those who dwell on earth." There's a deception again. "Telling them to take an image for the beast, so that was wounded by the sword and yet lived." And so the beast, even though it's been wounded, it comes alive. And I think we won't not actually be able to tell what is living and what is a robot. It could be so much deception. 27 going Matthew 24, back to Matthew, verse 27. "For just as the lightning comes from the east and flashes even to the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man." So we don't have to worry. We're going to be absolute, it's going to be totally sure, just like you see lightning in the sky, and there's going to be no confusion as to if this is Jesus or not. "Wherever the corpse is, the vultures will gather." So just as you see vultures in the sky, we're going to see the coming of the Son of Man, and this corpse and vulture symbolizes the judgment that he'll bring. In Revelation, we just read that, of the judgment that will come with, it says, with Jesus as he returns. So what are some of the things that we'll know that it's Jesus? Well, it's very clear. Verse 1, verse 7 says, "Behold, he is coming with the clouds." So just as he left, he's going to come back with the clouds. Acts 1:11 says that. And it says, "Every eye will see him, even those who pierced him." So believers, unbelievers, they're going to see him. "And all tribes on earth will wail on the account of him." So there's going to be we don't have to worry to try and work out, hey, is this going to be Jesus or not? Everyone's going to know. Acts 1 verse 11, "Men of Galilee, why do you stand looking into heaven? This Jesus who was taken up from you into heaven will come in the same way as you saw him go into heaven." And so we must just make sure that we are not those that will be deceived in the end, and that we know the signs of the coming of Jesus, we know that, what's going to happen. We're not going to be caught unaware. Amen.